And you're live.
Thank you. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone to this remote meeting of the Joint Waste Disposal Board. Please bear with us as we adapt to this way of doing things, and note that the meeting is being broadcasted and recorded live. And I would like to, at this point, before now for the first item, before any agenda thing and the roll calls and that, I would like to state it's a pleasure that you're on board with us, Greg or Councillor Murray. Okay, thank you. Now, to the first item on the agenda, are there any apologies for absence?
No, none received, Chair.
Members of the committees, please turn on your microphone and confirm you are present only when Hannah calls your name.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Hayes?
Present.
Councillor Harrison?
Ah, that's...
No,
yes,
we haven't
okay.
had any apologies, but Councillor Burnett Ward?
Barnett Ward here.
Councillor Page?
Yes, Councillor Tony Page here.
Councillor Bath?
Present.
And Councillor Murray?
Present.
I had not had anything from Councillor Harrison. Let's hope that it's not a problem and he comes in. Having said that, the full text for declaration of interest is set out on agenda item 2, which is next. If any member has a declaration of disposable pecuniary interest or any affected interest to declare, please indicate and I will come to you in turn. Okay, are there? No? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. There are no declarations, but may I remind everyone that you can make a declaration at any time should it occur to you at a later point. Anyone declaring a disclosable pecuniary interest will need to leave this meeting when we get to that particular event, okay? Right, next agenda item is to approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting of the board held on the 9th of July, 2020. Before I ask Councillor Page to second the motion, please indicate if you have any issue with the accuracy. Councillor Page, will you be happy to second it once I've asked?
Yes, seconded, Chair.
Right. Testing, yes, I can see a copy via this function. Yes, okay, too. Right, okay, so that's fine. Are there any questions on the article? Because we did have, I'm just going after the update on, now that we know that it is going to be another court case, I'm sure on Heathrow, is there any update on the Grundon site at all, Oliver?
No, Chairman, I think you're quite right. That is the update. So, of course, earlier on in the year, the Court of Appeal ruling came in. Apologies. The Court of Appeal ruling came in that the expansion of Heathrow was unlawful in relation to the climate change undertakings of the government. The application for the like-for-like facility has been withdrawn by Grundon's, but as you've just referred, the actual up-to-date position is that Heathrow themselves are challenging that Court of Appeal ruling, and that is up to date. So I think probably for all of us, that's the thing for us to keep an eye on.
I was going to say that is important, particularly over the coming year or two, because it's in all of our interests with regards to what we take there and the percentages of it. The green machine, I'm sure, have we done anything else about putting something in, or is it in the report? Do you have anything to update us on of having something on painting, I don't know, paint restoring in either of the two sites?
It is in the report. Happy to cover it now, though.
And you're going to cover it on that. I knew it was in the report, but as long as we have something that with Green Machine, because that was a shame, that was entirely with it. And the reuse shop is in there as well, I note. And I know on the financial, and of course, on the booking system, you'll have all that in the report. Okay, thank you. Right, then moving along. That is seconded, then we can take that paper as taken, can't we? Thank you, Councillor Page. Nobody has indicated they have any issues. Are there any matters arising? I've done that for you, ladies and gentlemen. The next item on the agenda is consideration of any urgent items. Are there any?
None notified, Chair.
Okay. Agenda item number 5 is the progress report. I presume we're going to start where, is it that Damien James, you're going to give a start and then Oliver will go in? then please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Yes, so just going to do a brief introduction and then hand over to Oliver. So this report then provides an operational and policy briefing for members covering a period since the last board meeting in July. And it explores the increases in waste received by the RE3 councils during the UK lockdown, as well as requested, a section on a booking system for access to the recycling centres. And the proposal of that in that particular area is that the councils adopt a new system to A, improve the cancellation procedure for residents, and B, support the council's understanding of the balance of visits between the three councils to those two sites.
Yes.
The report also includes current recycling rates and descriptions of how RE3 officers have been helping the council to improve the quality of collected recycling via secured funding and support from RAP. And finally, the report will also brief members on communications activity, including the completion of a second information video on food waste processing. And hopefully members will have seen that and appreciate what a quality video that is, giving some really good information to residents as we go through either having had food waste in our councils or adopting it in the next 6 months. So at this stage, Chair, I'd like to hand over to Oliver, if that's okay.
Yes, certainly. Go ahead, Oliver.
Thank you.
Were there any questions to Damien before I pass to Oliver? No, fine. Then
Chairman,
straight
all I
on
was
you,
going to
Oliver.
say, all I was going to say, Chairman, is probably just worth taking questions from members. I think Damien's given a very good summary of the main points, and then obviously if there are any questions before we come back to the recommendations, then either me, Grace, or Monica will be glad to provide answers.
Yeah, fine. Then go ahead, Oliver, if you'd like to. Is there any questions on this paper? I found it a very good paper. Not only that, what I was pleased with, that I'm sure a lot of you may have come back. We've had up and downs with the lock-in, are we going to still keep it as a booking system? The majority of people that have written and text and wrote and said they appreciate it is very good. I don't know about yourselves, Councillor Murray, Councillor Barnett. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think, Chair, that, we've had positive reports about the booking system. One or two people did say, how long is it going to be like that, because it's business as usual almost when they visit. But I think it's a good thing to keep.
Yes. And the same, Councillor Barnett.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I wanted to talk on the booking system, actually. I'm really pleased that we're putting in that cancellation facility, because the feedback that I have had is that those no-shows, the majority of them aren't deliberate no-shows. They're people who wanted to cancel and couldn't cancel.
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
Things changed, or they didn't need to go anymore, or something came up. And that has been really the only frustration I've had expressed about the system. People seem to think it's working quite well. They don't have to wait so long now for a slot booking. I would like a little bit more information on that process of changing over to the new system, because obviously it was before I was on this board, but I was very aware that there were issues with the initial booking system. And I'd just like a little bit more reassurance around the preparation and planning for the switchover, that we're not going to have a clunky switchover on that. Yes, and on the food waste, I just want to share that my food waste bin is out there waiting to be collected for the first time. So if I keep doing this, it's because I'm looking for it.
You're checking on.
Yes, because I'm a Reading early adopter. So really welcome that change to the booking system, but I would like a bit more information on the process of switching over.
Before I ask you to answer that one, Oliver, Councillor Murray, what is your question, please?
I just wanted to echo that point. I think the booking system that we've got is actually is long overdue in its implementation, and I think COVID has actually probably done us a bit of a favour in making that happen. I think the booking system has been absolutely excellent, and is something that I would love to keep going forward, provided we can make that provision for cancellations, because I think there is some frustration that people want to cancel and then those appointments don't become available for others to use. So if we can add that functionality in, I think it's a great thing to keep going forward.
Yes, and just bringing up on that, the other part was the increase that was noted on glass. I know it's lockdown, but the percentage increase alone, it didn't bear well when it said how well Bracknell had done. But yes, but yes, I do appreciate that phone. Would you like to answer to these, Oliver?
Thanks, Chair. Yes, I think the cancellations thing is obviously something that we're keen to sort out, and we know that the new system will allow us to be able to cancel almost in real time. So, as the councillors have noted, and I think we'd probably say in the report as well, and certainly it's our intention to make this point, which is that we're not saying people shouldn't be allowed to cancel or that they're causing a problem, but things change as has been noted. So that will be welcome. In terms of the process of switching over to the new system, I think this is going to be our third booking system effectively. So we've got some good experience within the team and within the contractors team. But I would also say that the switching over process to the new system is really easy. We're just starting to go through that process now. It's really well ordered. It was all standard information. So in fact, what we're trying to do is to make sure that when members of the public look at the new system, they will see information effectively that's familiar to them from the existing system. And really is just that functionality that's going to be different for us. Just the level of functionality between the members of the public, the collection of that data, and then sharing it with the guys at the front gate.
Yeah.
The two sites. The process is being handled both by colleagues in Reading Borough Council and the company Journey. We think it should take between 2 and 4 weeks to make that happen finally. There will be a testing stage, and I think possibly at that stage, as we've done before, I think probably if it's at all possible, I will need to check, but I can't see why it wouldn't be possible. We will probably be able to open it up to those people that are on this meeting, and if they're happy to. I know Councillor Harrison last time helped us with testing, and it would be welcome if we can make it happen for councillors to have a go at testing it with us as well, and that hopefully will provide some reassurance.
I think, Oliver, we're having problems with your microphone. It's sort of, I think our other councillors have, yes. We do like hearing your little voice, Pat. Okay. Are you there now? No, you've got
just,
oh,
yeah,
there you go.
how's that?
That's better.
Is that working? Right, I'll hold this in here in front of my...
I was about to pull my headphone part off because I thought it was mine. Maybe it still is. Having said that, Oliver, I'm sure everyone is pleased with regards to the booking system, and hopefully it will go off pat. Is there any possibility at some stage then the registration of the areas of where, because I'd like to know whether it's like when they were saying with like the glass, the vehicles. I knew that the Warfield, Wingfield and Billenfield was so busy because that was where we were picking up a lot of glass. But on coming into the sites, is there any way of knowing the numbers of the vehicles, where they're located and the rest of it, identification?
We certainly will be able to add into this system. I think members will be aware from before that there is there's no way of accurately capturing the postcode data in the current system, but a postcode lookup function is something that we can add to this system. So in effect, we will ask all people making a booking to just let us know what their postcode is, and we'll use that information to make that determination between the three councils.
The worry on it being not that anyone would, but I'm sure that they would lend it to their friend who might live in West Berkshire again. That sort of, I don't mind it, who's using it between us three RE3s, but not as relationships down elsewhere, if possible.
No, that's understood, Chairman. And I think with that, what we've tried to do throughout is to take as little data as possible from residents, but only enough to make sure that we can do, as you say, that we can identify where people are from the RE3 area, and then and make sure it is only RE3 residents who, by the way, obviously are the ones who are paying for the service that get to use it. Is it worth just all I said in that earlier answer, just for everyone's reassurance, was we will have a testing phase for the new system, and I was kind of
Good.
opening up an invitation for members to be part of that testing phase so that
That-
they're reassured as well. And I think we kind of tried to do that before.
Yes.
But that's what I was saying.
That would be excellent. I'm sure the other members would be able to think. The small businesses at the sites and take up, has that improved since these papers or whatever?
Chairman, I don't know if it's improved specifically since we wrote the papers, but it's our intention, as we say, to expand it from the current level of around 50 up to another 100. The caution around that is obviously to make sure that we principally maintain access for residents and for household waste to come in the first instance. But we do want to try and grow that, and it's part of the forthcoming resources and waste strategy, which will be part of the Environment Bill. So it's an important area where we can learn and continue to provide support for local businesses, and obviously also for all three councils. It's a nice way of being able to say there's absolutely no need for anyone to go and fly tip, because actually we're making it as easy as possible for businesses to do their bit as well. Okay.
Are there any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? I seem to be taking control, being the one pushing on it. There is my other understanding is when we change, the late nights and the dark nights are coming back in. Have we got numbers that we will be able to work with, or what days different on the booking system, just to make sure the numbers keep in time, thing? Have we looked at that sort of thing, Oliver?
Yes, Chairman. We've sort of planned the winter hour changes. We're going to get the new booking system in first, deal with that cancellation issue, so we can free up that up to 20% that's currently being lost in the system through these no-shows. And then also we've got plans to try and increase booking numbers again. I think the report says we started on something like 6,500. We're now nearly at 10,000. We think that we can go up a little bit from that, and we'll take it from there.
One other thing before I go to a recommendation, I watched a program. There was an excellent one last night on BBC Channel 4 on waste and different. But the other one the other night was on fly tipping and that. And their argument was, well, you get fly tipping because of the chargeable, the waste pricing. Has anyone else incurred that? Just a thought. It's just putting it out there. Just something to think about, because we will be looking at the chargeable waste prices at the next board meeting. Okay. Are there any other questions? No? Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to move the recommendations that are set out in the report, and that is seconded. Is that by Tony or anyone? No one yet? Tony's, you're muted, but we'll take your wave. Okay. Then thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, councillors. And if the member wishes to speak, then please indicate and I will come to you in turn. Okay, but it's not all right. Okay, and that's seconded. All right. Thank you. Shall we move on then? Oh, there goes the phone. Let's see. So the recommendation is set on page 2, on page 9 of the agenda pack. Can you please indicate? And we've all done that. Now we're moving on again. Agenda item 7 is to receive the annual financial statement report. This item includes the likely disclosure of exempt information, and so we will be moving into the private session to discuss this item. May I therefore move that pursuant to the regulations of 4 of the local authorities, does everyone know this one, or do you want me to read it all through?
Yeah, agreed.
Agreed. I was going to say it's a long one, and that's seconded. Thanks, Tony. Does any member oppose moving into private session? No? Okay. Then in case, I will ask the clerk to close the public part of this meeting and to confirm when the live broadcast is ended. Please, would all members stay in the meeting while this is done?